16 free resources for schools who have to close due to the coronavirus. This is episode 642. And I'll also give a lot of tips for those of you who may be headed in that direction. Advancement Courses is the sponsor of today's show. Stay tuned for how to save 20% on awesome online professional development for K-12 teachers.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
Hello, my friends. We are having a little bit of different programming these days just to give you some resources and some help. So today for episode 642, I have for you 16 resources for schools who are closing due to the coronavirus outbreak. Now, you do need to prepare to teach online if you haven't. I think a blended learning classroom is a wise move for all of us. And this just gives us one more reason that when we have a blended classroom, it is very easy to immediately move to a completely online classroom if necessary. Of course, we can always go back to a completely face-to-face classroom easily, but a blend just gives us the best of both worlds, so it's not such an adjustment. Now, I know that there are lots of issues with going completely online, especially as rapidly as some places are having to go online. But if we can keep the learning moving forward, that is ideal. And certainly a lot of you are working with policy issues such as lunches and other issues, access, just so many things. But I want to give you 16 resources that can help you with the transition to online as well as bring you up to speed. Now, all of these links will be on the blog post that accompanies this, and I've also already sent them out in my newsletter. So first of all, take the course Designing for Online Learning, which is free. Now, the course actually starts today that I'm recording this on Monday, March 9th, but it will again start next Monday. It will take 45 minutes a day, so don't sign up unless you mean it. But if you need to design for online learning, it's a great free crash course. There's also a Facebook group called Temporary School Closure Support with educators from around the world, and it's been very helpful for me as I've tried to become up to speed. There's also an International Educator Shared Resources Google Doc that I'll link to in the show notes with a lot of information about shared resources. Now, Google has given Google Hangouts Meet Premium through July 1st for free, gives you a way to meet with your students and add video. Again, I'm including the link so that you can file for this and learn more about it. Edpuzzle Pro is available for schools closed due to the virus, and you can also see that link on the site. Number 6, Book Creator is giving 90 days free, so you can collaborate together writing books, and you'll want that link also. Number 7, Kahoot Premium is available to schools that are closed. Now, one thing I want to comment is that all of these are for schools that are closed. So your IT director or leader, like I am at my school, will have to file for these for you and your school so that the teachers can get access. So be careful not to inundate these companies and work through your IT department. Number 8 is if you're using the free version of Zoom conferencing, you can apply to have the 40-minute limit lifted so you can extend your time using Zoom with your students to pass the 40 minutes. Number 9, Boom Writer is a free writing app, but you can also, of course, use Google Docs too as well. Number 10, if your school is closed due to the virus, you can apply for free access to the Brain Pop videos to use for your school. Now, I highly recommend these, especially for your elementary classrooms. They can just plug right into your learning management system or Google Classroom and use those Brain Pop videos. But somebody, again, will have to click on the link in the blog post and apply for that for your school. Bunsey Classroom is free for schools that are closed due to this, and they have a tweet that disclosed that they would be free. You will have to email info@bunsey.com to get that for your school. And I'm assuming with all of these, we're going to need to give official documentation that our schools are closed due to the coronavirus issue. Number 12 is if you're in the U.S. and closed due to the outbreak, your school may be able to get access to Discovery Education resources. Your IT directors can email educationpartnerships@discoveryed.com. And they also have a special channel to help explain what is happening to students that you can access as well. And I've got a link to that. Those resources are incredible. And the Discovery streaming platform is one I've recommended for years. So getting access to that would really help a lot of schools. Number 13 is Pear Deck. You can request individual or district-wide access if you're impacted by closures. And this is another great presentation tool. Number 14, Tinker will let you apply to receive their entire curriculum free if you're impacted by closures. Now, number 15 is one that I have shared. I recently posted a full 16-day set of project-based learning lesson plans to teach photography and graphic design using a big project using Adobe Spark, which is free, and it can easily be adapted to use at home and online. And I have all of my rubrics and resources on Adobe Education Exchange, and the link I have put in the show notes as well. Number 16, there is a Google Doc that is being updated continually about the free tools for schools dealing with the coronavirus. And that has many more resources than I've listed than these 16 resources. This week on the podcast and on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be sharing resources to help you to prepare to teach virtually if necessary. This past week, I was actually in Indianapolis and I did the flat classroom, how to flatten your classroom presentation, but also shortened it so that I could teach how I teach students to prepare to go into an online classroom, and then also how I teach online. I have certain methods for doing that. So I'm going to take that, turn that into a YouTube video for you, and have those resources available. So continue to check my blog at coolcatteacher.com, or you can also subscribe to the newsletter at coolcatteacher.com/newsletters. So this is a really difficult issue, and so many people are impacted. So many of us have those with compromised immune systems that we love and we want to protect, and we want to do what's necessary. Frankly, I don't have time to debate as to whether we should panic or not panic. I'm preferring not to panic. I'm just preferring to prepare, to be ready, stocking up on dog food and cat food so I can take care of my furry critters, as well as stocking up on things that we need if we have to be at home. I teach online now. In fact, I was getting ready to get on the Star Wars ride when I was at Disney recently, and my students back at school were doing something online, and I was able to communicate with them back and forth. And so they're used to this communication, and I am too. I think the biggest worry is for those who don't have access, and also those who have, for some reason, not been able to get online or haven't done it yet. But now's the time. We all need to be familiar with how to teach online, how to connect online, how to learn online. I do want to be part of that. There are a lot of educators who are helpful out there that are putting themselves into action to try to help other educators. And I want to be one of those people. So if you have amazing or great resources, feel free to email me, Vicki@coolcatteacher.com, tweet me at coolcatteacher. My primary ways of communication are my Facebook page and my Twitter page, as well as my email newsletter and blog and podcast. So that's where you'll get most of my information. But let's connect and work together as we prepare for what needs to happen so that as a world, we can work together and stamp out this pandemic before more people get sick, because this is just something that we all have to do. We're also reminded how few people actually get the flu shot and get these preventative shots, including measles. Measles actually has a much higher mortality rate, and we have a lot of people who choose not to get immunized. So this is a time to talk about protecting ourselves, and these are very sensitive issues. Sensitivity is high. If you joke, you'll probably get backlash. If you are super serious, you'll get backlash. That's just where people are right now. People are afraid, and when they're afraid, people aren't necessarily rational, but let's just behave with love and kindness and do our best to do our part for our little portion of the world that we have, which is to keep people safe as well as to inform and to educate. And I want to be part of the solution to try to help all of you out there in this process. Of course, there are those who are selling $80 things of hand sanitizer, and there will be people who pray, I'm sure, in the education arena as well. Let's hope not. Let's hope we'll work together. But you know what happens in times like this, especially when there's fear. Let's keep working, keep moving together. And I hope these resources help. Do check out the show notes at coolcatteacher.com/E642. And that's how we always do the lessons. We just link to the episodes that way. My best wishes to all of you out there. And again, let's keep in touch.
Plan your professional development now with advancement courses. You can choose from over 240 online graduate level PD courses in 19 subject areas. They are self-paced and you have up to 6 months to complete them. Go to advancementcourses.com/coolcat and save 20% now off each course by using the code COOL20. That's just $120 per graduate credit hour or $160 for 50 clock hours. You can also receive graduate credit through CAEP and regionally accredited university partners for continuing education requirements. Thanks, Advancement Courses, for sponsoring today's show. Never stop learning.